We hope that the courts can also see this, because the courts and the people who make these judgments, and particularly the ones who made the judgment about the Embakasi, they should be alive to the fact that because they restrained the city council from doing its job, deaths have occurred. You may not want to blame them directly, but you might say that the fact that they restrained corrective measures from being taken, I think their conscience should actually jog them.
Why would your team appear to be backtracking on an earlier pledge to demolish structures forthwith? Now there's some softer talk from the town clerk, talks of consulting. What has changed?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you see, you're dealing with human beings across the board. So we are not backtracking when we talk about this. And people have rights. And we must make sure that even when we are trying to correct what is wrong, we do not engage in another illegality. That is the process that we want to follow. So I've told them, in order to avoid a lot of suits and so forth, you must also make sure that you are following proper procedure in achieving the objective. So there are some structures which are completely irretrievable, if I may put it that way. Then clearly those ones would have to go.
Some argue that you cannot weather the political consequences of such a decision. Is that true?
Yeah, some people have tried to propagate some nonsensical argument that this process of demolishing or cautioning people against illegal structures is an ODM extortionist move to try and raise money for elections. It's actually ridiculous. Elections are a year ahead, but surely if somebody was putting up an illegal structure that is a threat, I think the city council should enforce that.
Why are we seeing the council reacting only now after people have died? You've been in office for quite a period of time. Why not start acting then?
In certain instances, people have just deliberately refused to follow the law. And they go out there and hope that they'll put up the structures and they'll not be caught. So outright impunity from that perspective. There's also some collusion between some of the council officials who are charged with the responsibility of ensuring that proper approvals are sought, and some of the developers. With the council in particular, we have asked the clerk that they must do an investigation and find out if there's a zone, who are the inspectors in that zone, what have they been doing, and what reports have they been filing to their superiors. Because if they've not been filing reports to their superiors to tell them that illegal structures are going on, then you have to ask them, are they purely incompetent or are they part of the process? And if so, there are disciplinary measures in their terms of employment, there are disciplinary measures which can be instituted against such officers.
All these measures appear to be reactionary. How do you intend to stop rogue developers?
We need to look at the laws, because if you go under the Physical Planning Act today, when somebody breaches the Physical Planning Act, I think the heaviest penalty that is in that law today is about a fine of 100,000 shillings. Now, for somebody who's putting up a development of 20 million shillings, 100,000 shillings is not punitive enough. It cannot be 100,000. I think it should be steeper. If you're breaching, should it be just fine or even a term of imprisonment? Could it even say that then your plot can be repossessed?